Hello, today I'm going to explain how can be difference between duration for the project and duration for a task in one simple example. I have one task under my project with 1 day's duration. I will change for this purpose time scale, so I will right-click here, time scale, and I will say, okay, in the middle tier, which is this one, I will use not weeks but days, and in the bottom tier, which is this one, I will use not days but hours. And you can see that my task is going to be started at 8 a.m. and it is going to be finished at 5 p.m. and basically it is 8 hours. 1 day is 8 hours, so I go to File, Options, and Schedule, in which I will show you that 1 day is 8 hours. And if I go to Project to Calendar, and if I see Standard Calendar, and if I go Work Weeks and Details, I will see that from Monday to Friday, the working time is from 8 to noon and from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, you can see from 8 to noon, then 1 hour break, then from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I have also in Resource Sheet John with Standard Calendar assigned to him. And I'm going to put John as assignee to my task. Nothing has changed. Duration for project is 1 day, duration for task is 2 days. Okay, what will happen if I change John's calendar from standard to 24 hours, which means that he can work 24 hours per day? Okay, I will put him in 24 hours calendar. I'm going to use Gantt chart, and now you can see that John is going to work 1 day at task, but the total duration of project is not 1 day. How is it so? It is because John is going to work 24 hours, which means in his calendar, let's go back to his calendar, Resource Sheet, 24 hours, you can see. Let's go back to Gantt chart. Let's go back to project. Let's go back to change working time. And let us see how 24 hours calendar looks like. From 0 to 0. No, there is no such a thing like break. So basically, 1 day's duration means 8 hours. Let me show you that here. Work. Okay, 8 hours. If I go to my task usage, I will see that John is working 8 hours. 1 day for task is 8 hours. This is great. But how the project is 0.88 days? Because if you go to Gantt chart, you will see that John is going to work not from 8 to 5, because he's going to work these 8 hours from 8 to 4 p.m. because he's going to work during previous break time. So he's going to work, let's say 8 hours in the 9 hours slot, because you will see here File, Option, Schedule, that default start time, default end time is from 8 to 5. And he's going to work 8 hours from 8 to 4. But how do we have this 0.88? Let me show you that. So to come to 0.88, you will see that John worked 8 hours in 7 hours, sorry, in 8 hour slot. So 8 hour slot is here free from 8, 9, 10, 11, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The slot available is from 8 to 5 minus this break. So let me be clear. One day is 8 hours. Okay, here it is. But one day is also from 8 to 5, and John didn't work from 8 to 5. He used 7 hours of 8-hour slot. Why? Because slot is from 8 to 12 to noon and from 1 to 5. But he works, because he's on 24 hours calendar, from 8 to 12 to noon. Then in this time at noon, from noon to 1, and then from 1 to 4. So basically he used from available 8 hours here, 7 hours from 8 to noon, and from 1 to 4. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7. And if we use calendar, he used 7 divided by 8, which is 0.875, which is 0.88 days. So from available 8 hours, he used only 88%. Available 8 hours. You can see that he is free from 3 to 4 because he worked here. Okay, now let me put here 2 days. 2 days is 16 hours. But how can we have one day? Because these 16 hours are going to be performed by John from 8 to 5 p.m., which is one day, no matter that he is going to work here, but he worked from 8 to 12 and from 1 to 5, one day, and the rest is not counted because it is out of this working time from 8 to 5. Here, file, option, schedule, okay, from 8 to 5. This is available slot. In this slot, 8 hours in this slot, okay, from 8 to 5 should be fulfilled to make one day at the project level. So basically, he worked from 8 to 5, 9 hours, but who cares? He used from 8 to noon and from 1 to 5 p.m. And then the rest of the job was done here next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this break is 8 hours. So he worked 8 hours during regular time, 1 hour during break, and 7 hours during after the working time. So basically, the project regular working time is 1 day, but he actually works 2 days, 16 hours. What if I put 3 here? Still 1 day. Why? Because he worked from 8 to 8 next day, 24 hours. But on regular time, he used from 8 to 12 and to noon and from 1 to 5. So this is 1 regular day, and the rest of 16 hours is done outside of regular day, which is from 8 to 12 and from 1 to 5. So he worked 8 hours, but during regular time, which came to 1 day for the project level, but he works on the task level 3 days. Why? 24 hours from 8 to 7 this next day. Now let's put here 4 days. Okay, now we have 1.88. Here everything is fulfilled, 1 day. Then here it is out of working time, and now he finished when? Like in my first example. On the last day, that is 4 day, second day, you can see this is Monday, this is Tuesday, he worked from 8 to 4. And back to the formula, 7 divided by 8 is 0.88 when you round it. So 1 day here and 0.88 here, which lead us at 1.88 days. And last but not least, you get a whole picture. If I put 5 days here, I will have 2 days. First day is here, second day is here. The rest of 40 hours is done outside of working hours, outside of this. Okay, outside of this. So you should play a little with Microsoft Project and you will see how it behaves. You will figure it out. Let me be honest, frankly, when I first saw this, I thought that it was bug. But after practicing, I saw that this is not bug, but this is normal behavior. Task is always about work dividing by working hours per day. 40 divided by 8 is 5, but this one is how many hours are spent during the regular work time. And the regular work time is from 8 to 12 and from 1 to 5. If it is used less, like in my example, in my first example, less, then it is calculated like total hours used, which is here 7, divided by total hours of work, which is 8. Hope this helped. Thank you very much.